My brother screamed that I was making his kids homeless. I looked at the aunts and uncles he'd dragged along to shame me and said, "If you all care so much, one of you can hand over your own house. Mine isn't available." He got there before I did. That's how it always was. My parents brought him home when I was 7, and by 8 he'd already told me, in front of everyone, that I wasn't his real sister and never would be. He said it again at Thanksgiving when I was 12, and again at my graduation, loud enough for my friends to hear. 20 years of, "You're not my family," and I believed him because he made sure I did. So I stopped waiting for him to change his mind. Diner shifts through college, rideshare driving on weekends, no vacations, no new clothes, nothing that wasn't rent or the down payment fund taped behind my dresser. 9 years later, I bought a house, 3 bedrooms, a mortgage with my name and only my name on it. My brother did the opposite. A car he couldn't afford the week he graduated, then a bigger one, then a boat he used twice. A business funded by our parents that failed, then another one funded by debt. A wife who spent like he did, 2 kids, and a running story at every holiday about how well things were going, right up until the bank took the house, the cars, and the boat in the same month. He moved his family in with our parents. That lasted 4 months before my mother called me, her voice doing that careful thing it does when she wants something. She said they were coming by Saturday to talk. I should have known then. They sat in my kitchen, the kitchen I paid for, and my father said the words like he'd rehearsed them. He said I was just one person, and my brother had a whole family to think about. He said it made more sense for me to move somewhere smaller and let my brother's family take the house, since I didn't need all that space anyway. My mother nodded along like this was obvious, like handing over 9 years of double shifts was a reasonable ask between family. I asked him what family he meant. The same family that told me at Thanksgiving I wasn't real. The same brother who corrected teachers in front of me when they called us siblings. I reminded them calmly that he had spent 2 decades making sure I understood I wasn't his sister, and now that he needed a house, I suddenly qualified. My father said that was different. My mother said I was being cruel, bringing up old history at a time like this. I said no. I said it clearly, more than once, so there'd be no confusion later. My house was not available. Not to rent, not to borrow, not to hand over out of guilt. They left angry. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. Saturday morning, 8 days later, I heard the truck before I saw it. A moving truck backing into my driveway, beeping the whole way in. My brother was directing it like he already lived there. His kids were climbing out of the back seat with boxes in their arms. And behind them, spilling out of 2 more cars parked crooked on my lawn, were aunts, uncles, a cousin I hadn't spoken to in years, all of them standing there like an audience waiting for the show to start. My brother turned toward my front door and yelled that I was making his kids homeless, loud enough for the whole street to hear. That's when I saw the aunts and uncles he'd brought specifically to shame me into silence, and I said what I said. If you all care so much, one of you can hand over your own house. Mine isn't available. He didn't stop unloading. He told the movers to keep going. He told his kids to start carrying boxes toward my front porch, like the decision had already been made without me. My mother was somewhere behind the crowd, not meeting my eyes. My father was talking low and fast into his phone. I stood in my own doorway in front of a driveway full of people I used to call family, watching a truck full of someone else's life get unloaded onto my lawn, and I had about 10 seconds to decide exactly what I was going to do next. And the first thing I decided was that no one currently standing on my lawn was leaving here believing they'd won. Comment, part 2, if you want to see